I'm with a man who's forged a career teaching people how to understand each other better. I'm Noni Edwards, and after the break, I'll introduce you to Mr. Body Language. Stay with Emirates News.
A world authority on body language is in Dubai to share his wisdom with a group of business delegates at a seminar tomorrow. The author of 15 best-selling books on the topic sat down with Noni Edwards this afternoon. She began by asking him what's on the agenda.
Well, we've got a seminar of business people, and I'm going to show them what happens in the first 4 minutes of meeting somebody for the first time, because in that first 4 minutes we form up to 90% of our impression about the other person, and we decide pretty quickly whether we're likely to say yes or no to anything they're likely to propose. So if you're going for a job interview or you're trying to sell an idea or convince someone, if you get that first 4 minutes wrong, you're in trouble. So we'll talk about that, and also I'm talking about the differences between how men and women's brains function and how they would perceive the same thing very differently.
So in terms of gender balance, you were saying that you had an interesting story about something that you saw in Bahrain.
Well, in Bahrain, I was there 12 years ago when the airport was a tin shed, and I did a couple of big seminars there. It was all men. This week I did a seminar in Bahrain. There were 600 delegates, and 400 were Generation Y women, which is under 32, in business suits or with iPhones and iPads doing business. And that is a dramatic change in culture for anybody in the Middle East.
And to what degree is body language universal, or to what extent is it actually cultural?
Within a given culture, all a culture does is determine what you can or can't do or say within that culture. It doesn't change what you feel or how you perceive something. In terms of body language differences, that can be quite funny. For example, this gesture here is one of the most misinterpreted on earth. In Dubai it probably means okay as the main signal, as it does in most places. In France it means zero. In places like northern Greece and Turkey, it's a gross insult signal.
And how do you vary your talks depending on where you're speaking? You know, if it's in a Western part of the world or in the Arab part of the world?
Well, in Dubai it's a very multicultural place. You've got people from every culture. You need to be aware of that if you want to be persuasive. Now, the basic body language gestures are the same regardless of culture, because gestures are an outward expression of your emotions. And as humans, we feel the same emotions. We feel happy, sad, joyful, angry, concealing, superior. We all feel the same emotions. So the basic gestures supporting those are the same. What changes in cultures, how far away you can stand. Now, in business, men in Dubai stand 30 centimetres away, versus most Westerners from cities will stand 45 centimetres away. So for me as an Australian, if I wasn't aware of this, I'd think, hey, this guy's standing right in my face and I'm likely to step back just to give myself some space. Now he starts thinking Alan's a bit distant and a bit standoff, so he moves forward to make himself feel comfortable. And I think, hey, he's moved in on me again. Suddenly we've got enormous tension that's not good for business.
That was body language expert Allan Pease there, speaking with Noni Edwards earlier today. And for now, that's the very latest rounding up the Dubai Business Day. Eunice, back to you now. Are you conscious of your body language when you go to meetings and things like that?
Obviously, Greg, I mean, sometimes in some cultures, some gestures are very, offensive. So you need to watch out the way you move your hand, the way you sit. So you need to be conscious, of course.
That's true, yeah.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks.